Hello, everybody. Welcome to my weird and wonderful world. And just to let you know, going in, I'm just started catching. Well, I just kind of caught a cold. I felt it coming on yesterday, and then today I'm a little stuffed up. I'm just a tiny bit achy, but I don't let that stop me. I was going to make a video today, no matter what. And talking about my weird and wonderful world, I always like to talk about the weird and the strange and how to embrace that, and that I love the weird and the strange, and I find that doesn't matter where it is. Sometimes some of the best stuff is from the weird and the strange. So I made a video about this, and I'm going to try to make this a little bit shorter video than I did last time. And I'm not going to go into depth about each one of these, but I will show you in my collection what I consider some of the weirdest albums that I own. They're not necessarily in order of, they're not ranked in any way, although the last one is in fact the weirdest album I own right now. But yeah, now the first three, again, and I always keep bringing this up, and I never hear anybody talk about this, or if anybody ever is going to get a chance to sample it. But I still wonder what people think of this stuff. I'm talking about the stuff from Bruce Hack. Yeah, the Electric Lucifer, and of course Hackula. Starting, of course, with the dance, sing, and listen, which is a children's album. Yeah, it's made for children. And then this was his first solo album, that he made, after doing some of the children's album. He made a serious album because people kept on telling them to do something, and that's what he did. He did the Electric Lucifer, and it still kind of blows my mind even today when I listen to this, what he was attempting to do, and to come up with a unique, for its time. It was a unique sound, and yeah, 1970. It was released in 1970, recorded in 1968 to 1969, and then this is one of his last albums, and it was banned for a long time. Wasn't able to get that, but now it's open to get. So I had to get it. But it's one of his most controversial, and still it is amongst the weirdest albums I own. And of course, I can't speak of Bruce Hack without bringing up Moon Gas by Dick Hyman and Mary Mayo. This is three albums in one. It has three different albums. Each part of it is quite a bit different than the rest, but I love the whole thing. It again, this would be a difficult listen for a lot of people because you have to put yourself in that era. Yeah, you have to. This is a very specific mood, and I remember getting it the first time because I only got it because of how weird the electric eclectics of Dick Hyman was. That was the album. It was from track 13 up to track 21 on this. The whole first part, the whole moon gas part, I had never heard until I bought the album. That's not what I was. That's not what I was ordering. I was trying to order that. It just happened to come in this whole set, so I'm actually pretty. I got more than I bargained for, and I love it. I love it. But again, it may not be a lot of people's cup of tea because, like I say, it is challenging music. It is a very specific time in the era that this music, I would have considered that sophisticated avant-garde type of music for its day. But that's just me. All right, and put that aside. And of course, my favorite band being Tool, and having a rockabye baby lullaby rendition of the Tool songs. And it has my favorites like The Grudge, Sober, Opiate, Disposition, Schism, Parabola, Sweat, Reflections, Lateralis, and The Patient. Pretty much all the best songs that I really love. Most of them from my favorite album, of course, Lateralis. So that's cool. And I'm only showing one to represent his entire career, but when I think of this artist, I always think of this as the prime example of as weird as you're going to get. That it's in the title, Dare to be stupid, but he's weird. He's Weird Al. You can't, So, yeah, that's a definitely gets a mention for sure. Devo is pretty weird, especially this album. I find this is the weirdest Devo album in many ways, although the rest are just as weird. I mean, you listen to the lyrics of and listen to the album of like Freedom of Choice, for example, and how it's a weird album too. But I find this is the weirdest album, especially with a song like Jocko Homo. Just that the musical cadence of it, da, 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 it's weird. Okay, so now I did not mention this last time, but it is again I consider a weird album in many ways. And this would be the Bloodhound Gang. Hooray for boobies! Now I got the special 2 disc that it has 2 discs in it, and it opens up like that. And this has the oh, just lost the cover, but this has the Bad Touch, the radio edit, and it also has another version of the Bad Touch, the Eiffel 65 mix. So I got a bonus CD in there with 2 extra mixes of the Bad Touch. So that's pretty decent. So, but that is a weird album. If you ever heard it, there's a lot of weird stuff on it. Can't go without talking about my. I do like some insane clown posse stuff. There's not none of it I've heard that I didn't really like. I mean, and so this is a band called Twisted, and of course you got the Insane Clown Posse themselves, and there's others that go with that. But this is weird stuff, especially if you're just a normal rocker and you're like, why would a guy, you know, why would you like this stuff? This is yeah, no, you have to be again. You have to be in the right frame of mind. You have to look at it as if you're listening to like it's like watching a horror movie. You put a horror movie on because it's twisted and it's bizarre and it's gonna be weird. Not necessarily scary because some people get scared with horror movies and some people don't. I don't consider this scary, but I do consider this that whole genre vibe of horror movie stuff. Kind of like Alice Cooper's earlier works and stuff. Of course, talk about weird is D. Antworth. So I think they're a pretty weird band, especially the first time I heard I Think You Freaky. Fell in love with the band. I really love Babies on Fire. That's a good one too. Fatty Fatty Boom Boom. I don't know, I think this is probably my favorite album of D. Antworth. So you know how it's spelled there. There it is on the bottom. And it's called Tension. That's weird stuff. And then Sparks, come on. They're a weird band, but in the most, how can I put this about how like the way I see their weirdness? I mean, you just gotta look at the lyrics on this. These are amongst the weirdest lyrics, you know, for for a band that has a certain genre feel to it, and then you get at home, at work, at play. I mean, who reinforcements BC? Who writes lyrics like that? Thanks but no thanks. Don't leave me alone with her. Never turn your back on Mother Earth. And something for the girl with everything. Chew. It's just yeah. Who don't like kids? And then Bon Voyage, and yeah, those lyrics are just. I still remember as much as I think of Kimono My House as having weird lyrics too, because because this town ain't big enough for the both of us. Is their weird lyrics? You're wondering what does cannibals have to do with a a Western shootout? But it does in the mind of Ron. So it's weird, but in the best way, the best way. And now this I save for last because it is the weirdest album I have for sure. And as I present this album, it's just a message from me to, like I say, embrace the weird, embrace your uniqueness, whatever let your weird freak flag fly, basically. But yeah, the gift that keeps on giving. It was gifted to me by Larry Graves, the Canadian stud muffin, and I do actually love it. It is the weirdest album. I have to be in a certain mood for it, but I will be trying to play it a couple more times because it is a challenging. Album, and it does get better every time you play it. So that's why that's kind of at number one. Not saying that I was ranking these in the first place, but that is amongst some of my weirdest albums that I own, and I'm sure there's some here and there that's you know. I could have showed you more of the Weird Al. I could have showed you an album or two from Pussifer. They're kind of weird in a good way. Um, but that's about it. I don't do. I mean, do I consider that weird that I actually have and love foreign albums, like foreign language albums? I have a few albums in that's completely in German. I have a few albums that has like that's French, like pretty much all like it's all French. I have about 4 or 5 albums now that's pretty much French. No, it's not weird that I love it. Music is music. Music transcends language barriers. And even though you don't know exactly what they're singing about, you can still feel what they're singing about. And it's pretty special. All right. So I'm going to let you go. And if you want to consider subscribing to my channel, that I will greatly appreciate it. Love you forever. And don't be afraid to comment, leave comments, hit the like button. Don't be afraid of the like button. Here I'm shaking the screen here. And as always, just please be safe. Take care. I'll see you on the flip side. And please, everybody, just have a great day, evening, morning, night, or afternoon, wherever you may be. Peace, everybody.